know, it was a packed house today, mate. Is that the most you've had in this gym before?
Yeah, the combination of having practice players in, and then nearly all of our guys returning, just Rob Lowe to add tomorrow. Was a good amount of people in practice, but I think it allowed some people that needed a bit of a rest today to get a little bit of rest as well. So, yeah, we still got to refine, the group now that our guys are back, and but yeah, those practice players have been invaluable for us just to be able to compete and get to the level we've got to so far.
I know that in our talks over the past few months, you've always sort of said, "Oh, look, World Cup, and we're going to have 3 or 4 guys out." Like, how much of, I guess, an inconvenience is that? And are you starting behind the 8 ball? What's your take on that?
Yeah, we talked about how quick we can connect, and so it was great to just have Shay and Flynn and CG back in practice today. Not just being here, just being out on the floor and creating connections with their teammates. So yeah, we've got to fast track that as much as we can, and then bring Rob in and still one more piece to add to it. But yeah, they're high basketball IQ guys, and I think that's a little bit what their World Cup campaign's about. It's about how quick you can connect with the group coming in.
Talk to us a bit about LT and Daly. Both didn't travel to Tassie, got some niggles and things like that. I think LT did a little bit of training and then went to the sideline, and Daly obviously not with the group. Are they a chance of playing this weekend, and where are they at with injuries or health?
Yeah, we believe LT is going to practice. He's just got to see how he pulled up from this practice. Um, yeah, Delhi, he's not going to play this weekend. We're getting ready for the Blitz, and he's pretty close though, and not too far away. So expect him to get really good minutes at the Blitz.
Last roster spot, mate. I mean, you obviously went down to Tassie and had a look at your DPs. Are you any closer? Is it going to be a DP? Are you going looking outside? Give us an update.
Yeah, it's certainly what we've the whole time we've the purpose of holding on for a while was to with believe with Malith and Campbell Blog and Tripp that they're 3 guys that have been with us for a couple of years right now, and if you wanted to see them develop and see their progress, and so yeah, we believe that the last roster spot will come from one of those guys, and I think we'll make a decision pretty early next week.
So it's a little bit of a battle between the 3 boys, mate. Is there? If we've got a front runner yet, Campbell was pretty impressive for, I guess, the new guy on the as a development player down in Tassie.
Yeah, they all offer different things, and Campbell, being the captain of Sandringham and having that leadership quality as well. Tripp did some of the things that we really wanted him to do in handling the ball more in NBL1 this year, and Malith got his team to the grand final over there, and is just a supreme athlete. So none of those guys is a bad choice. They're all a really good choice, but it doesn't mean a whole lot anymore to be the last roster spot or to be that development. If you're playing well, you've got the opportunity to come in and play.
Joe Luala, he's got the wrist protection off. Is he ahead of schedule? Where's he at?
Yeah, progress has been great. Yes, ahead of schedule. He's got some medical appointment tomorrow that may allow him to advance his workouts, but he's catching the basketball, he's shooting the basketball, he's dribbling the basketball, he's doing a lot of things that a basketballer does. Then there's still some can he catch a ball at high speed? Can he fall on the ground? Can he do some of those things that we want to make sure that he's got the strength to be able to do before we progress?
What do you make of the Phoenix for the weekend, mate?
Yeah, it should be a good hit out. The obviously had their first up one against Adelaide was something they'll probably want to have be a bit better defensively. Adelaide played pretty fast and looked pretty connected in the way that they played, but yeah. I'm not thinking about them too much at all. I'm thinking about, how we bring Shaylee back into the group, how we bring LT back, after having his little time out, how we bring Flynn in and get all these guys playing. So, yeah, real just focused on our connections and how well we can, get our defensive scout right and play the right way for us.
We've only got one more arrival now, isn't it? Rob Lowe this week sometime?
Yeah, he comes in tomorrow, so he'll be at the game, which is I think was important for us to our first game of the year, that he gets to see this team and start to cast his ideas about, what he can contribute against them. I think they've probably still got a couple of guys out as well. So, but we'll see the style of play and we'll start to get a good read on the scout for him.
What do you want out of Rob? I mean, he's the backup to Ariel at the moment while Joe's injured.
Yeah, we've really used KB in that role so far in the preseason and believe that he has the ability to switch from 4 or 5 at different times, and so he'll do that on the weekend, versus South East. And but when we bring Rob in, we know it's a stretch 5. It's a guy that pick and pop, and there was obviously some things that we did with Landale that you think, yep, there's some things that we can do with Rob Lowe, not comparing those two, but they're both 5 men that can stretch the floor, and it does open up some other things in your offense. So, with Ariel and the connection that the guys had with him today and be able to throw lobs and things at the rim, and then we counter that with the difference of Rob. And but we still think, him winning Defensive Player of the Year in New Zealand, just coming in and being a high-level defensive communicator and rebounder for us is really important.
Just spoke to Ian and he talked about being a bit of a mentor to some of the younger guys, sharing a car with Joel Foxwell in Tasmania, and his eyes lit up when I asked him about it. Is that something that you've seen from him, his leadership and willingness to take on some of the kids and help them out?
Yeah, and I sat with him the first game and we just kind of talked about in Tasmania about, what was going on and what he saw, and then the second game I moved him up the bench into a coaching role, and I thought he was great in what the insights that he gave me and what he saw, and then certainly once he got into the coaching role about what he could contribute. So love what we've seen in practice this week with him. He's just an efficient scorer and sees the floor really well, and just has a great team impact. And so off the floor as a mentor, that's just an added bonus, and everybody's going to be the beneficiary of his experience, and he's willing to share it.
Seemed to be, I guess he was part of the second unit today and pushing the ball quite hard every time he grabbed it and handling it a lot. Is that where you see his role?
Yeah, this league, you need multiple point guards on the floor, and I don't know which one he's better at right now, playing off the ball or playing with the ball. Of having LT and him coming into our team, we've had a lack of point guards at practice, and they've all played point guard. So now that we move their role a little bit with Shea coming back and then Daly coming back as well. So yeah, but this is a league with more people that you can have handle the ball and make great decisions. The better you're going to be.
How important is it to take your pre-season out to Cranbourne and out to Casey?
Yeah, it's really our only pre-season game left here, and it's always a packed house out there, and it's been good for us over the last few years to play this game out there, and looking forward to seeing some of our fans and the footy season kind of winding down, them taking that next level and starting to really, start to sell out games, which are, they're selling unbelievably well. Our membership is at a great point, but still want to see that elevate. And so, just get as many members on board as possible, and hopefully we can treat them to a fun brand of basketball.
Yeah, the last man to coach the Boomers before they went to the World Cup. Did you take in what went on over there, and what's your sort of thoughts on it?
Yeah, I love watching the World Cup. It's fun just to have, high quality sport on at night and sit down and get excited about what you're going to see every night. Obviously the Boomers didn't quite achieve what they wanted to achieve, but, so close that Germany game. You take a couple of possessions and change those, and the whole thing's looking a little bit different. But, it's just a bit of a change right now. There's a veteran group and there's a rookie group coming in. And so over this next little period, it's about how many of those guys they can get into their prime and, be ready to go ahead and achieve what they want to achieve, and that's getting medals.
Dino, I just wanted to throw a couple. When you look towards the Blitz and towards the season, having two ultra-experienced NBA championship winning guards in Daly and Ian Clark, what's it like to know that you've got those two that you can put together and those two that you can see on the court, hoping to produce at a high level for this team?
Yeah, it'd be really interesting how their ideas form together and how their different ideas as well. they're both crazy competitors, and that's the part you see with Ian. He does it in a quiet kind of way, but I think as it starts to ramp up a little bit more, we're going to see late game situations where he's going to be heavily involved in those, and whether that be as a passer or a playmaker. And Delhi's IQ put the combination of those two together in key situations, and it's going to be tough decisions for me about who we close out games with Shea and these guys as well. So so much experience, international experience, NBA experience. Great challenge for me to make sure the pieces all fit together.
And on the other end, touched on him a little bit earlier, but Joel Foxwell, a 17-year-old kid that's been training with the team, playing with the team throughout the preseason. What have your impressions been of such a young kid coming in and contributing at a really high level?
Yeah, you got to feel comfortable in this league to do well, and how quickly you can feel like you belong. And so he had some moments in Tassie where he was a little bit nervous, but then he got better in the second game. And I think once he finishes school and can be a continual practice guy for us this year. We've seen at the World Cup there's some smaller guys at that level that can still really contribute. So I'm not shying away from developing a smaller point guard whose quickness and understanding of the game is at a really high level. So we'll see where he tracks, and then whether that be in the US system or coming through our system as time progresses. But we've enjoyed what he's brought so far.
3 weeks away
from round one, the opening round throwdown, what's it like for you as a coach and as a leader of this team to see that the tickets are already nearly sold out? There's only about 1,000 seats left. Yeah,
we look forward to that game for a long time, to get back and play another throwdown and get a packed out house. And as I said, we go through this last period of preseason games, and hopefully fans are excited about what they see when we get this full group together.